We live in a world that is constantly and rapidly changing. Today, economies, culture, technology, industries, people, labor skills and interests are all living. This is an age where national economies are linked globally. Therefore, all regions are vulnerable to economic restructuring and need to consider how to adapt to these changing dynamics. Transformative economic growth and innovation depend on effective connections, relationships, and partnerships. We live in a time of unprecedented opportunity for our citizens to participate fully in a 21st century economy, an economy characterized by innovation, research and development, value-added production, exports, and emerging sectors such as advanced manufacturing. To help them seize this opportunity, we need to give them the tools necessary to make strategically based, data-driven decisions. Policymakers, businesses, and other stakeholders need to have a solid understanding of a region's strengths and economic opportunities. This information helps drive greater prosperity and higher quality of life through innovation, lower transaction costs, and the use of greater capabilities to produce and sell new and better goods and services. As a component of the High-Level Economic Dialogue, HLED, the iCluster Subcommittee of the Mexico-United States Entrepreneurship and Innovation Council, MUSAIC, has worked to develop binational, compatible cluster maps that identify geographic concentrations of interconnected companies, suppliers, service providers, and associated institutions that are present in the U.S. and Mexico. These maps can be used to identify an area's assets to create the connections necessary between the public and private sectors to create more effective trade and investment strategies and enhance regional economic development. They can also be used to link up innovators in similar sectors, to share best practices, serve as a framework for understanding drivers of private investment and job creation, and to identify opportunities for public investment. The Department of Commerce's Economic Development Administration, EDA, runs the U.S. Cluster Mapping website in partnership with Harvard University. The website maps assets based on the Michael Porter methodology developed at Harvard. The U.S. Cluster Mapping website offers statistical and visual data to assess business environment characteristics and a member directory that profiles cluster initiatives throughout the country. Commerce's International Trade Administration, EDA, and Harvard University have worked with Mexico to create its national cluster map. Mexico has undertaken a data alignment and cluster definition matching exercise so the data can be used and analyzed in a binational fashion, ensuring the compatibility of the U.S. and Mexican cluster maps. Mexico's cluster map was developed by Mexico's Statistic Agency, INEGI, based on 2014 census data, the latest cluster definitions of Porter, Stern, and Delgado, and the location quotients of the 32 Mexican states. It combines the Harvard methodology using employment and occupation data and the TEC de Monterrey methodology adopted by Inadem to identify strategic sectors in Mexico. Mexico's cluster map will be publicly released in spring 2016. Using compatible maps and common definitions, we can establish an objective, data-centric method for identifying clusters that allow businesses and economic development organizations to reliably compare industry sectors between our respective countries. By having a common definition and platform, Mexico, the U.S., and the rest of the world will be able to reliably identify clusters and develop linkages for 21st century strategies to drive sustainable, long-term economic vitality of urban and rural communities across both countries, so that both of our countries are able to bring together the right people and organizations to create and strengthen lasting and valuable partnerships.